Hey everybody, my name is Anita and I'd like to welcome you to the Honey Hive. Everybody, and welcome back to the Honey Hive. My name is Anita. If this is your first time joining us, thank you so much for being here. Happy Friday. We made it another week. Praise the Lord. And also thank you for coming back after my little hiatus for my birthday and all things of that nature. Today I am super excited to be joined by someone who is a dynamic entrepreneur, and I'm gonna go ahead and say future mogul, giving you a whole lot of black girl magic. Please put your imaginary hands together for Adrienne Reed.
Hi everybody.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for being here.
My pleasure.
I'm super excited. Come on, my pleasure. Chick-fil-A. Shout out to Kristen. All the Chick-fil-A sauce in the world for a lifetime. Amen. Praise God. But I am excited for you to be here. I know a little bit about, your background and what you're doing now, which we will get into with Brunch 2 Bomb. Okay, but I'd like to start at the beginning and have you tell me and the audience where you got started, how you started in the marketing industry, when did it happen, all that.
Well, yeah, I kind of fell into marketing. I wanted to study African American studies, but my mom wanted me to take more of a conservative route just to make sure I was going to be good. And so I was really disconnected from the things that I was studying. I was going to school for business admin with a minor in marketing, and I had been a really good kid. So I didn't get in trouble. I didn't get to do a lot of things, K through 12. So my freshman year of college, I was outside.
Okay.
I was outside, so I wasn't really focused on my schoolwork.
Yeah.
I wanted to go to Spelman. My great-grandmother, who had a big hand in raising me, had become mysteriously ill, and I didn't want to be in Atlanta and something happened here. So I went to University of Laverne, which is a small PWI, and I am not a fan of the W. So it wasn't a great experience for me, and I ended up dropping out.
Okay.
I started working in banking and sales, did really well there. And then shortly thereafter that, I got diagnosed with cancer.
Wow.
Yeah, I got diagnosed with acute lymphocytic leukemia at 21. It's something you normally find in kids 2 to 9. And that kind of was another big shift.
Yeah.
I ended up going to Bank of America and there landed in their marketing department and just ended up being really good at what I was doing.
Yeah.
It was really ironic because that's what I was studying to do in the first place. I've always had a natural knack for it.
Yeah.
And even after I left banking and really went into consulting and figuring out what I wanted to do, it still really wasn't marketing. I don't really think that marketing is a skill set that you can effectively cultivate. I think marketing is something that works best when it comes with a passion from it, a natural passion for the thing that you're trying to market.
Okay.
And so everything that I do is really aligned with my purpose, which is to create spaces for Blackness to exist, thrive, and flourish.
Okay.
And so I'm really marketing myself.
Yeah.
And I'm marketing myself by showing up as myself and holding other people accountable to honor the spaces that my culture exists in.
Yeah.
So I don't really, you'll never hear me introduce myself as a marketer. I do understand marketing. I understand branding. I leverage those skill sets in what I do, but it's not who I am.
Okay. Hello.
Hi.
Nice to meet you, okay? Take up all the space. I love that. I love that, okay? We talked about that way in the beginning of taking up space and Black women being unapologetically themselves, right? And coming in as themselves. So that's a great little tidbit because I'm sure there's a lot more to your story, but that's a great little tidbit.
But I think if that's something that you're talking about, it's important to acknowledge that that is one of the most difficult things for a human being to do, let alone a woman of color, right? To step into your identity authentically, it requires a lot of courage and a lot of bravery. And normally the necessity for courage or bravery is kind of exhausted in other buckets of our life so that we can kind of just sustain, right? So like, I don't think if I got diagnosed with cancer, that I would be where I am today. I think that God's funny like that. I believe in a couple things: purpose, alignment, and seasons. Those are the things that drive my life.
Yeah.
So in that season of my life, I had to be smacked around with life experience so that I can get to where I needed to go. I always jokingly say God and I have an Ike and Tina-like relationship because I don't get it. And sometimes I'm getting backhanded. And it's just like, yo, everything was cool.
Yeah.
What's up?
Yeah.
But he gets tired of me because there's things that I have to do. There are things that are in front of me that are in my purpose that I am in alignment with, but I'm misreading the season, or I'm doing something that I am not in alignment in, but I think it is because of the season, right?
Yeah.
But the purpose has always been very clear for me. And so that's why, another reason why I don't really subscribe to any particular job role or description, so to speak, and why I've ventured into and really flourished in the world of entrepreneurship, because I think that purpose is evolutionary, right?
Yeah.
What your purpose is today should not be your same purpose in the next season, right?
Yeah.
When we get to a more granular definition, right, at large, your purpose is going to be the same, right? But it's kind of like a rainbow arch or a staircase, right? We're always going to get to the floor of purpose, but it goes from level to level, step to step, glory to glory, etc.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think that everything I've done has helped me to get to where I am today, and then what I'm pursuing today and where I am today will change in the next season.
Yeah.
But when that season comes is outside of my pay grade.
I mean,
Bars.
I don't even know if it's been 5 minutes and she is preaching and teaching, and I hope you're catching what she's saying, okay? Because I feel like I am about to be a whole brand new person by the end of this because of the encouragement
brand new
and
person.
come on, and the evolution, okay, of who I am as a person. Get my life all the way together, please. Okay, so we've talked about courage in your beginning. Listen, I honestly kind of just want to throw this card out the window, really, and just, let you kind of talk, because I just feel like you have so much to say. And even though, we're just meeting, there's this energy that you feel when you meet her, when you see her, you know what I mean? And I'm going to jump ahead to the first time that I saw you, which was my first experience with Brunch 2 Bomb, which, by the way, is coming back. So we'll talk about that a little bit too. But I'm gonna tell you guys, listen, the first time I went to Brunch 2 Bomb, okay, I was like, whoa. First off, if you know anything about me, you know that I grew up, okay, around the queer people in
The W.
the W's.
Yeah, because I don't never come to Redondo Beach.
in Redondo Beach. Okay, that's what I did.
It's like, where the hell am I going?
Listen, my parents, they had a vision and an understanding for what they wanted for my life, and I will never take that away from them. I thank you, I praise you, and I honor God for giving them to me, okay? Thank you, parents, I love you. However, okay, I did not have a lot of experience around other people who looked like me, which was part of the reason why I wanted to go to a HBCU, but unfortunately I wasn't able to. But long story short, went to Brunch 2 Bomb, saw a plethora of beautiful Black people, and I said, this is amazing. Who started this? Where did it come from? When did we get here? And I feel like I'm just in like a bomb family reunion with people that I've never even met, but I want to get to know. So tell me how that vision started. I know that it's a partnership between you and your best friend, but where did it come from? Just tell me everything. Where did it come from? How did you get it started? What was the deal?
When I was getting into entrepreneurship, my birthday was coming up, and I wanted to do a brunch for my birthday.
Okay.
But normally how that works is I need to put a deposit somewhere,
Yes, girl.
and then people need to prefix menu and
Yes.
all that.
Yes.
And I don't think that funding my birthday celebration should be my responsibility. If we're celebrating me, if I want to celebrate myself some kind of way, then I'll do I'll do for me.
Yeah.
I'll buy myself something.
Yeah.
But if y'all want to celebrate me, then do that shit.
Hello?
Oh, sorry. Do we curse here?
We do now.
I curse a
It's a
lot.
brand new
I curse a lot. I'm
show.
sorry.
So
okay.
listen.
Anyways, so maybe a couple months prior, my best friend, co-founder of Brunch to Bomb, DJ Benjamin Walker, had asked me to be his manager. And I didn't want to do talent management. I didn't know anything about talent management.
Yeah.
And I don't like to do things that I may not succeed in, which is a part of my roadblock in accelerating towards my purpose. You have to, put yourself in uncomfortable positions so that you can get stretched out, right? But like when I was working at Bank of America, I was working from home, and when me and Ben would have like friend time or hang out, I would stop at his house because it was downtown near my Hope office, my office on Hope. So I would stop by, take my last 2 calls at his house, and then we go to happy hour. And Ben would hear me on the phone and be like, yo, you're really handling these people. And I'd be like, I mean, just doing my job.
Yeah.
And that's essentially what you do as a manager, right? And so he had asked me to be his manager, and I knew he had a residency at a local bar restaurant, Harlow. And I was like, yo, can you hit Billy Bob, his real name is Billy Bob, and see if I can do my brunch there, because I don't want to pay out of pocket.
Yeah.
Billy's a real cool little white guy. Billy's like, yeah, sure, nobody's going to be here, because their brunch was really slow. And he was like, you have the whole restaurant. I said, oh, well, shit, let me invite all my people.
Yeah.
So I invited all my friends, I invited all my clients, and just made it a thing. And 185 people came.
Nice.
And then Billy was like, how do I get you to do this again? It was my 32nd birthday. I had never, in college where sometimes you fall into promoting parties.
Yes.
Never done it.
Yeah.
I hate the club.
Yeah.
I hate heels. I hate tight dresses. I don't like, because I mean, you can't throw ass in a tight dress. You're gonna, you know what I mean? It's not, it's problematic.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And then also I'm 5'11", so I don't need to wear a heel. It's a very uncomfortable shoe. And I also have enough problems finding somebody who's taller than me that has some sense. So why do I need to be 6'4"?
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So when he put that proposition out there, I was just like, no, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Ben talked me into it, because Ben's a DJ, Ben's a part of this world, and he was like, no, you really have something. And Ben had tried to do an event before, and it wasn't successful.
Okay.
It had like pops, but it didn't sustain. And I was just like, I don't know, like, this is not what I want to do.
Yeah.
I said, okay, we'll try it on the strength of you, but we won't invite any of our friends to the first one. We won't even tell them it's happening. I'll just market it, we'll see what happens.
Okay.
And our first brunch, I think a little shy of 300 people came. And I was like, oh, okay, but maybe this is a fluke. So we did it again, and almost 400 people came. And then they did it again, and then like we just didn't have any capacity. And it was free, it was just RSVP.
Yeah.
So we could get your contact information, so we could tell you about other events. And then on our 4th brunch, we started charging, because we were trying to proctor the demand.
Yeah.
And then we had this line all the way down Hollywood Boulevard, and it just kept growing and kept growing and kept growing.
Yes, ma'am.
And so now we'll be 4 this year. Last year was kind of weird, but we'll be 4 this year in October. And with the exception of last year, because we went up until February 2020 was our last event, we've done over 40 events. We've been to Africa twice. We've served over 30,000 people. We have something like 24,000 followers on Instagram.
Yeah.
And for me, Brunch to Bomb, now We to Bomb, is an overarching brand, which I can speak to, it's really purpose aligned, because it's creating that safe space for us.
Yeah.
And when you come to Brunch to Bomb, you're coming to my house. So everybody doesn't get invited to my house, but even if you wouldn't get invited to my house and you ended up there, you knew you would come to my house with some sense, right?
Yeah.
And I think that there's something, and I can't, maybe you could speak to it, because I'm not the receiving party, but there's something about what we've created at Brunch to Bomb that not only people enjoy, but they genuinely appreciate it and respect the space, and they protect the space.
Yeah.
And I want it to be a safe space for us to exist and to get free. I think that when we have spaces where we can be authentic, our potential is limitless and boundless, specifically as Black people. I think that we're always, though it is over 200 years later, we're still wearing the mask.
Yes.
That Paul Laurence Dunbar's poem is still way, way too applicable.
Yeah.
And like, the world is profiting off of what's beneath the mask. But if you show up without it on, then you're criticized, right? And so at Brunch to Bomb, you can throw ass and have Hennessy and have fried chicken or whatever other white stereotypes, or white people stereotype black people for. Doesn't matter. And you'll still close the deal. You'll still get the job. You'll still find the partner. You'll still find the place to live, because those are all things that have happened there. And, you know, I think the other thing that we do is when we started ticketing, you know, we could have just kept all that as profit and kept hiking the prices up because the demand is still there. But we always reinvest back. Like, I always remember when we went to the Fields and we had the beer garden area. I could have put another 300 people there. But we turned into a vendor market. And then we sold vendor booths for $100. And these vendors are leaving with 10X. Because they're selling all their stuff. And ever since our first brunch, I'm not giving props for silly stuff. I'm literally on the mic asking you got 401k, make some noise. Where my IRA's at? Where my mortgage is at? You know what I'm saying? I think we have to redefine that narrative, but it feels uncomfortable at first because that's not the norm. But now when I look out there, me and Ben always laugh about it because we got so much crap from venue owners, from other promoters about how we're not doing it right, and this is not how you do it, and you don't do tickets, charge for bottles. We didn't even do bottles until our 5th event because of the demand. Because I'm like, I'm not dumb enough to pay a rack for a bottle for a seat. I'm trying to buy a house. Like, for a drink, this shit is $30. This is insane. But like, all of these folks told us we were doing it wrong. Now there's brunches all over the city. Now there's gospel sets and brunches all over the city. Now there's 90 sing-alongs all over the city. We started that though.
You did.
But at the end of the day, like, sometimes I used to get mad, like people are biting my stuff, but like, I'm 36. I won't put Ben's age out there, but he's older than me, okay? And like, I have no desire to be hosting Brunch to Bomb on my 40th birthday. So if the culture is living and breathing strong and has presence to exist, then we're doing our job. But I think Brunch to Bomb for us is a way to have that platform, but also, again, it's a means to an end. It's a funnel for financing, right? Because our goal for Brunch to Bomb is to leverage the money that we've made, that we save and grow, to build a venue here in the city that's Black owned, that can accommodate all of these different events that are getting these shitty deals everywhere else on their commission structures, or, you know, being turned away from venues. Something that really reflects the aesthetic that, you know, myself as a millennial who works my ass off is looking for, right? Because, you know, when you busting your ass all week, you're not trying to go to the hole in the wall. You will, because the vibe is there. But what if I told you that the vibe at Soho House was the Dime? Aren't you working? We see everybody working for YSL stuff and Fendi's and Brandon Blackwoods and all these other things. Like, that's because you want nice things, right? And we deserve nice things. We've been working so hard century after century after century for the bottom of the barrel, and generationally, now we're beyond that, right? I don't have to wear this mask anymore. I feel like Gen Z's kids are gonna be like the ones. If Gen Z really doubles down, like, their kids are gonna be the ones. And even maybe our kids, because most of us are having kids later in life. But like, they're the ones, they're going to feel free, just like Dead Prez raps about. They're going to feel all of that freedom. And so now we have to lay the pipeline for access. And that's the thing that a lot of people that are in this party industry, which I don't claim, don't do anyways. It doesn't make any sense for these folks who are doing parties with all of these A-list rappers, $5,000 table minimums and 50 tables. How do you not have enough money to go buy a spot? Doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make absolutely any sense. It doesn't mean you can't have nice things. Ben and I have nice things. My BMW is outside. He's driving a Range. Like, we have nice things. But my priority isn't blocked by my desire for nice things. You know what I mean? Because if we hit the bigger goal, I'll have all the nice things, right? So That's one of the things that we're working on, but Brunch to Bomb, so play off of Dick to Bomb from Insecure, because I think we came out season 1 of Insecure.
Yeah.
I love that song. I think it's fantastic. Shout out to Problem. But no, it just inspired the name, and it was just fun. We to Bomb is a spinoff of that because our tagline for Brunch to Bomb was we're more than a day party.
Right.
But we can't if we're only known as Brunch in name. Yeah. But I didn't expect it to last that long, and I didn't expect it to grow this big.
Look at God.
And so we rebranded to We Two Bomb so that we could really envelop the fullness of our footprint and really create a platform to highlight the dope stuff that people that are a part of the We Two Bomb community are doing. Because the people that come to Brunch to Bomb are people that are often behind the scenes, especially because we have a lot of entertainment footprint.
Yeah.
Stars come to brunch or whatever. I know Lena Waithe used to be a big fan. She came. Congresswoman Waters has come. A lot of actors come. But they come not because we're reaching out to them, not because we're paying them to come, but because the people in their camps come.
Are telling,
Right? And we're giving them the same things that these stars are getting for free at a reasonable price, right?
Yeah.
And so that's what they're interested in, and that's what gives you that family vibe, right?
Yeah,
because you have a place, you have a spot where you can feel seen, so it feels like you're at a house party with dope people, but no one has to clean up after.
Yeah. I love that. I mean, just from my experience, like being there I've actually been to 2, now that I think about it. One was with a group of friends, and then another was just with one friend, but every time that I have gone, it really has just kind of felt like this just dope, positive energy. Nobody was tripping on anybody. Like, it wasn't any drama. It wasn't, anything inappropriate or anything like that going on that I feel like kind of sometimes can be that stereotype, or, we, meaning the Black community, can't get together and do nothing right or anything like that. It just was fun. It was fun, and it was like such a good release too, just from, the week or whatever you had going on, and just being able to just hang and chill with your friends, eat good food, because one thing that they did have when I went was some good food, okay? And I was very excited for that because y'all know I like to eat. But it's just the atmosphere just was good. It was positive. It wasn't, like I said, anything negative. There wasn't any drama. And I just really felt like I wish that more people could have that type of experience, or see us having that type of experience, you know what I mean? And not see us in that negative light, or just automatically assume that because there's a bunch of us together that it's gonna be some type of drama or something like that. So I do commend you guys for creating that type of space for us and for the community to be able to come and just chill and be ourselves and be free, like you said. I'm really super excited for you guys to come back. COVID was a hater, but they made the best of it, because I know you did some Zoom events and things like that. So I'm super excited for you guys to come back. I will make sure to put all of her information and We Two Bomb information in the description box below so that you guys can check them out and also know, about their schedule and things like that when they come back. So tell me, what's your big glass ceiling dream for We Two Bomb? I know you talked about having a property and things like that, but if you could just sky's the limit on what you could have. What would that be?
It would be the property.
Yeah.
There are other things, but they were dreams, but now they're things that we're working on, so I can't talk about those things. Okay. But yeah, the property would be the biggest thing. Okay. Because I think that's generational growth. That's legacy. Because it's an easy way for people to come up on bread. Like, that's why there's so many promoters now. But even if you bring in the people and you bring in the vibes, like, you have nowhere to go. And I had no idea how bad it was until I got into it. And I remember the first deal somebody offered me was a 10% commission. I was like, the fuck? I'm not doing that. That made no sense. 10%? There was nothing happening here, and I brought everything here, and all you're doing is giving me the venue and the service. That's why for this next event, we're doing a build out and seeing how we can sustain that, because it is a lot of work. But like, The commission structures aren't great for in a lot of these spaces, and they're owned by people who do stereotype the culture. We've left venues because of that.
Yeah.
We've been at venues and had no issues whatsoever, and then they want metal detectors, or they want cops on site, or they want to use their all-white security team. And that's a reason why you don't see drama at our event, because our black security team is going to de-escalate.
Yeah.
We're going to have a conversation. We've had one fight at our event, and it was two brothers that got in a fight because one brother got drunk and looked at the other's girl, and it was a whole thing sponsored by Hennessy. But like, that was it. And even then, like, our security guard, shout out to Mavante, our head of security, walked these guys all the way off a property and made sure they went in two separate cars.
Yeah.
And then at that point, what happens. But like, look, we're gonna do everything we can to avoid somebody else getting involved in this going left.
Yeah.
And any time that anything else has even felt like it was gonna take off, if it ever escalated, it's because there was a third party that doesn't look like us involved, that doesn't understand the nature. I'll stop Brunch to Bomb completely, dead ass in the middle, and be like, yo, I smell weed. Y'all know we don't smoke weed in these venues. Somebody snitch, or somebody stop it, like, because we not doing this.
Hello.
We in this restaurant, you know they don't throw parties. Get the hell off the couches.
Yeah.
We can't stop until she gets off the couch.
Yeah.
We can't start.
Yeah.
Like, we want to maintain those relationships, and that's what helps me to develop good rapport with the owners and managers of these venues.
Yeah.
But if you are coming to me with assumptions off the gate, then I'm not here to build rapport. One lady dead ass said in a meeting where I was supposed to sign a contract, she said, I was asking her about the menu, and she said, oh yeah, we've done brunches like this before. We'll have all the Hennessy and the chicken, and then we can do a fruit platter in the watermelon bowl.
No,
and I was
ma'am.
like, you can do what now? Nah, I'm out.
What? Yeah.
I'm out.
Yeah.
But like, that's a lot of stuff we don't talk about,
Right.
right, to the broader public, because we're trying to preserve the space and the energy,
Yeah.
and then also not get hit with a defamation suit, because we are a properly run business, so we have a lot of things to lose. And then you were talking about the pandemic. We did do some Zoom events during the pandemic, but that was really exhausting because there's no crowd energy to feed you back.
Yeah.
So we did like 3. But I spent this pandemic really getting back to consulting, because Brunch to Bomb was taking off so rapidly. I really had to step away from everything else I was doing to focus on creating a sustainable system for that.
Yeah.
And even then, because we were growing so fast, every time we would build a system, we would outgrow it.
Yeah.
So I spent most of my time during the pandemic really doing marketing and brand consultation and social media stuff.
Nice. I also saw that you were a co-author of a book.
Don't know if it'll ever come out, Trajay. Don't know if it'll ever come out.
Okay. And it's called Meet the Tiny Humans.
Yes.
Can you speak a little bit on why that title, or why this particular subject?
Yeah, so I feel like I knew what I wanted to do and why I was here when I was 7.
Okay.
But when I shared it with my family, they took what I said and said, that means you want to be a lawyer so that you can become the president. I didn't want to be the president, and I didn't want to be a lawyer, but I've always spoke passionately, and I've always pursued truth, and I've always challenged things I don't understand. So my great-grandmother deemed me argumentative, negative connotation, and then told me that I should be a lawyer.
Yeah.
And then I can go be the president, because that's the route.
Track, yeah.
And I'm just like, I knew what I wanted to do when I was a kid. It was always creating space for Black people. I was raised by my great-grandparents. We would watch movies like Glory and Color Purple, and they were sharecropping in Arkansas before going into going overseas with the Army. And it was just like, I never understood why white people didn't understand how dope we were, or why they were so encompassed by fear.
Yeah.
And so I remember my first time ever getting in trouble was in kindergarten. This girl, her name was Cynthia. She got sunburned at recess, and she was red to touch. And when you touched her, she would cry. And I thought it was funny. So I was laughing, like hysterically. So I had to go to the principal's office. And I didn't understand. It was like, because my skin absorbs the sun and yours is rejecting it. That's weird.
Hello.
why are you so mad? Like, that's weird. And so Meet the Tiny Humans is really me spending years trying to unpack how I could stop this from happening for somebody else.
Yeah.
And essentially, I think that as millennials, we're more purpose forward in nature. But the truth of the matter is, when you have a child, all you want to do is keep it alive.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
You're not worried about what they're going to be, how they're going to experience life, especially depending upon your socioeconomic provisions. You have to worry about keeping the child alive.
Yeah.
And so I started to outline this book. But I thought, I don't have kids, so people are going to radically discredit me. So my friend Trejay, at the time, was a new mom. Now she has 2 boys, and she's a child psychologist. And so we worked together to kind of substantiate my theories and write out the book. So right now, the book has been done for like 2 years.
Okay.
Trejay is supposed to be citing the book, right? But essentially, it's just, how do I create a universe where purpose can be cultivated? And for me, it's not treating kids like kids. They're tiny human beings. They are contributing to the world. And if they understand that they're contributing to the world, and if we watch what they're doing and then introduce them to things as opposed to limit them by what we know, there's a larger probability that they'll be able to embark upon their purpose more expeditiously, right? Because I knew what I knew, right?
Yeah.
But what I was sharing was put into a box.
Yeah.
I believe in Jeremiah 29:11, which speaks to God knowing you before He formed you in your mother's womb.
Yes.
So to me, that says who I was going to be in the beginning and who I was going to be in the end was already determined.
Yes.
I just have to unpack the language because the message has been put in me, but I don't speak English.
Yeah.
I don't speak. I don't understand words. I'm a fetus.
Yeah.
I'm an egg. I'm an embryo, right?
Yeah.
So since that point that I've been in my mother's womb, I've had the knowledge of who I was supposed to be. The process is not learning, it's unlearning. You learn to unlearn, right? Because everything I say doesn't make sense to anybody else because they've never heard it. They've never heard it. So it's not gonna make sense.
Preaching.
It's not gonna make sense. So when my great grandmother told me to be a lawyer, it's because that's what she knew.
Yeah.
No knock on her, that's what she knew.
Yeah.
However, I knew something different that was above her pay grade.
Right.
However, if all I have are people telling me to, do things that they understand, then I'll never reach that potential, right? And then also, human beings are riddled with fear. So if you show up bigger than somebody is, they're going to shrink you down. Hence the white-black experience. It's terrifying when you see a beast of a person, right? Just like you see animals.
Yeah.
I'm scared of bears.
Yeah.
You're not scared of dogs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
These are still, at one point, wild animals, right?
Yeah.
That we've tamed and made more acceptable to us. But like, at their most, they're not living in their natural state. And when they are in their natural state, we're terrified.
Yeah.
You put a rattlesnake in a cage and it's a pet, you're not as scared. You see a rattlesake in the woods, you're terrified.
Hello? I'm gonna run either way. I just want you to know, so don't bring those.
But in the same regard, and how culturally for way too long we've been treated like animals. It's the same regard.
Yeah.
If you see a bunch of black people with Brunch to Bomb acting freely, it's something's gonna happen. Who's gonna do what? Nothing's gonna happen. We're just being like chill. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You see a bear in the forest, minding his business, mind yours.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
When you start not minding your business, he's gonna attack you.
Right.
Same thing.
Yeah.
When you start pressing up on me, yo, bro, what's the issue?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm minding my business. Like, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so with Meet the Tiny Humans, if we're empowering children with voice early on, not in a disrespectful way, we have to teach respect, but like if we're empowering them with voice, then you're in turn empowering them with identity.
Yeah.
And it's also about paying attention. I hate those stupid posts where it'd be like, oh, Kristen's 3 months old. Kristen likes peas. When Kristen's 33, that's not gonna help her. Kristen loves when I'm cooking in the kitchen, she's quiet. Kristen tries new food. Kristen loves sitting with daddy and watching sports. Now Kristen's 3. We took Kristen to her first baseball game. And afterwards we went to a fancy restaurant and she ate all the food. Kristen's now 16, trying to figure out where she wants to go. We've always enjoyed food and you've always enjoyed sports. Maybe that ends up with Kristen working in the food industry at a stadium. Maybe she starts a sports bar. Maybe she works with different athletes to create food experiences.
Yeah.
Sky's the limit.
Yeah.
But I think that purpose is when your passion meets your skill set, right? So let's use baseball as the same example, but something that's taught in school like math.
Okay.
Maybe you're great at math, you love baseball, you're a horrible baseball player, right?
Okay, yes.
Right? So like my grandparents wanted me to learn piano. I wasn't good at piano.
Yeah.
But I was, because I'm good at a lot of things, but I wasn't good. You know what I mean? I was good enough to make you feel like I was doing okay, but I really wasn't good.
Yeah.
Right? But I loved music.
Yeah.
I used to, as a kid, do exactly what Kanye does with Sunday service. I would rewrite my favorite pop culture songs to gospel songs so I could use them at church.
Yeah.
But I would always get in trouble.
that. Yeah.
I would always get in trouble.
Yeah.
But now Kanye is
He's
the
doing
number
it.
one gospel
Yeah.
artist in the world. That's insane. That's insane.
It is.
But like, if you're good at math and you're not good at baseball, but you love baseball, the natural path is for your parents or whoever is the adult in your life to put you in baseball.
Yes.
And once they see you're not good, we'll leave baseball alone and focus on math. And you start to deviate from your passion.
Yeah.
You start to deviate from it instead of saying, hey, the baseball team, all these numbers we're looking here, those are stats. There's a statistician up there that takes all the stats for baseball. There's an analyst that takes these numbers to create plays for the players.
Yeah.
Each of these players has an accountant. Each of them has a financial advisor.
Yeah.
All of these are ways where you can leverage math to
Yes.
be close to what you love.
Yes.
You don't have to pick. You have to find a pathway to bring the two things that you're passionate about together.
Yeah.
Now, depending upon where you are in life, if you come across that epiphany, that could be really overwhelming.
Yeah.
To process that now I can go back to doing this thing I love that I've been separating myself from for years. But if as a kid, I'm cultivating that step by step by step,
Yes.
well then it's much easier to digest. There's
Yeah.
less time that's wasted.
Yeah. I need this book.
Yeah, Trejay?
We need it, girl. Okay, get it, because light bulbs. All right, and I need to be able to read it before I start having tiny humans. Okay, so I can get them together in my life together. All right, and have my own on the Van Zant moment. It's mine. Okay.
Not on my watch. I love that. Y'all remember that episode?
Yes.
Because they over there talking, she not even looking at her. Not on my watch. Ooh, okay. And they just keep straight face. I was dying.
Yeah.
Because I would have socked her in the face. She would have startled me. She would have startled
Yeah.
me. What?
Yeah.
Who are we talking to?
Yeah.
Everyone,
Yeah.
calm down.
Yeah, she's a lot. She is a lot for my soul, But yeah, so I'm gonna need that book. All right. Hopefully soon
In her defense,
we'll get it.
she has 2 small children and a husband and a mortgage
Tiny humans and
and
big
some hobbies
human.
that don't generate income like this one, but that's none of my business.
Okay. All right. So I just have
I'm
one
petty.
more question. I just have one more question for you because I feel like you dropped a whole bunch of knowledge on me and on us. I hope that you guys are enjoying this. I hope that you're taking some notes and some tidbits of what she's saying. I always ask people what they would want to say to younger generations, but I feel like she just dropped a whole bunch for younger generations and for our generation and for older generations too, because listen, that's just a lot of great information, and I appreciate you for being so honest and transparent and open, right? Open and transparent, same thing, but it doesn't matter. I just appreciate you just bringing your truth, right? And saying what's on your heart and just sharing with us, what you feel and what you believe, because I feel like a lot of it is in line with how we've been feeling, especially, with everything that has been going on or has always gone on, but has come to light with social injustice and things like that. And us just being able to be free and be our authentic selves and be, walk in our purpose, learn what that is, learn what our passions are and things like that. That's something that I feel like for me, I'm going to take away from this conversation, just really just sitting with myself to, you know, really ask those tough questions, because I think that's important. So I appreciate you for saying that, and I appreciate you for bringing light to that. I want to know now what's coming up next for you. If you can talk about, you know, something that you're doing. I know you got some stuff that you can't really talk about, but maybe you could share, you know, what's coming up for this year and maybe next year.
Yeah, absolutely. But when you were talking, something was on my heart to share.
Okay.
I think that, you know, transparency is freedom. And I think that sometimes that fear that's out there keeps us from being transparent. And I always tell people, because I'm a very transparent person with everything except two things in my life. And it's because they're covered in fear. I'm not ready to share them, right?
Yeah.
But I think that we become very fearful to share because we don't know what people are going to do with what we share. We think they're going to weaponize it to hurt us, and they may. That's all a part of life, right?
Yeah.
And I love to spill my guts with strangers because if you misuse that information now, God, you've saved me so much time, because I can get rid of you now. As opposed to you being here for 5, 10, 15 years, and then I'm so invested in who you are and what we've built in this, what we feel is a relationship, right?
Yeah.
Because I didn't show up with my whole self. And I think when we see relationships not work, whether they're professional, personal, intimate, it's because one or both parties are not showing up with their whole selves.
Yeah.
And then when parts of our whole self come out and we don't like it, then we retaliate or we attack. And when we attack someone in their most vulnerable sense or their most vulnerable state, those are the wounds that take the longest to heal,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
But if you do it off top, it'll show me who you are right off the beginning. And Maya Angelou said, when someone shows you who they are, believe them, right? You have to believe them.
Yeah.
And so I encourage you, Chris, and everybody who can hear me, like, I know it's scary, but the sooner you can just dive in, let me tell you, no one gives a damn about your personal business. What you think is personal is going to come out one point or another. Well, your darkest secret will not go to bed, will not go to the grave with you. It won't. Promise you. Promise you.
Yeah.
Promise you. The woman who said Emmett Till whistled at her could not die and rest in peace. She's still alive, I believe, with that lie in her heart. Your darkest secret is going to come out. You can either have it out there now or have it out there later. It's up to you. And whatever you think the worst thing is that you've done, somebody else has done worse. So just get over it. It sounds simple, but get over it and just share, because your story, your presence may not only help someone else, but you may be helped by freeing someone else of that shackle of secrecy themselves. So just be transparent. Promise, it's a lot easier than you think it is.
Come on.
We Two Bomb is back. Brunch Two Bomb is June 27th. The July-August dates are TBD. We're going to Cancun with the SLS properties in August. That's Ben and I's birthday. I'm the 20th, he's the 24th. So we'll be there August 20th, 21st, 22nd. We are going to Africa with East African Yacht Week, but this is a land excursion for New Year's, December 27th through January 5th. On Juneteenth, I have the Pan-African Collegiate Collective Black Graduation, which is a virtual event that I started last year, where we kind of stepped in to save Black Grad, which was basically canceled at large, and the virtual Black Grad that happened was more so for HBCU students than for not. So this year we're doing that in partnership with Amazon as of 2 days ago. Shout out to Amazon.
Nice.
And then we do a number of different things with Netflix and HBO. I'm also consulting on a few shows that are coming out. I serve as a cultural marketing consultant, so I stop white people from doing silly things to get Black people to watch shows.
Hello?
That's all I can think of right now.
Okay.
I can't tell you when the book is happening. Maybe you can follow Treje Empowers on Instagram and DM her about the book. That's TrejeMpowers. I think that's her Instagram. Treje Empowers.
All right. Well, listen, a whole list of things. Again, like I said, I will put everything in the description box below so that you can check out We2Bomb and all that they have going on. Make sure you follow Adrienne. Make sure that you are up to date on everything that they are doing, because as you can see, it's a lot coming out of the pipeline this year. They have not stopped. They haven't slowed down. They're just getting started, and I'm super excited to see what you guys have, you know, coming up. And I can't wait to get to the next Brunch to Bomb. I might even try to make that Africa trip, because hello, what?
Tickets at Brunch to Bomb sell out really fast. We're not playing with the tickets. They just literally sell out fast. We're not holding the ticket line.
Yeah.
So just buy the tickets early.
Yes. Get in there early, you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this. I enjoyed our time together. Like I said before, hopefully you took some notes. You got something out of it, okay? Happy Friday again. Thank you, Adrienne, so much for being here, for sharing. I love her, my pleasure, because it just makes me think of Chick-fil-A and Kristen.
I'm not a franchisee at all.
Okay, but again, happy Friday. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for joining us. I hope, again, that you enjoyed it. And I hope that you have a prosperous and blessed weekend. And as always, welcome to the Honey Hive. Peace.
Shabbat.